Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pick City Podcast. This is your Week 3 recap where blocking field goals, returning kicks, and defensive touchdowns reign supreme. I am one of your hosts, Zachary Ivy, and right beside me, my good buddy, my good colleague, trying to cut in the intro there.
Yeah, it's me, Alexander Walker, and boy, did we suck at picking this week. But you're going to have those weeks, but it was
I
bad.
think from what I see, tough week across the board, some tough games, absolutely insanity. We told you on the preview, it seemed like a weekend where there wasn't a lot of intriguing matchups, and that means craziness was sure to happen, and craziness happened. I wish we had more exact stats on the absolute insanity of defensive touchdowns. I mentioned in the intro a few seconds ago, blocked field goals, multiple. Jordan Davis, the boy, winning for the Eagles. Alexander, we're not going to start with this game necessarily, but kind of. We just don't lose. The Eagles don't lose.
That was an intense game.
Yeah, that'll be one we actually spend a little more time on. We are going to fly through some of these games, people. We're going to fly through some of them because some of them were horrible. And also some of them were just very one-sided. We may have our biggest takeaways. Remember, this is the time where if you want your team to get talked about more, you got to perform better. All right, so Alexander, let's throw it back to Thursday night, the game where everyone agreed the Bills are just going to absolutely blow out the Dolphins. It's going to be a massacre, and somehow the Dolphins' game plan stayed in it somehow. Even though Josh Allen played okay, they're in the game, and honestly, it comes down to, in my opinion, where the game became, the Dolphins are for sure losing, a punt where they're going to get the ball back in a tie game, and they have a penalty by hitting the punter to extend the Bills' drive, giving up the touchdown, and honestly, it just felt like that was the game. And then even after that, they have a chance marching at the end, and Tua just throws the most Tua interception of all time, as if he just didn't see the defender. And Alexander, we took some bad losses this weekend on the front of our picks. The Dolphins might have had the worst loss because if they won this game, they could have sold everyone on their next 3 or 4 games coming up are very winnable. But now, I think they're out of the playoffs, right? They're 0-3. You don't make it from that.
Only one team ever has.
Yeah. And I don't think they're that team.
Yeah, it was a game that, I'm watching it, and then, I'm just like, how is Miami still in this game? I feel like Buffalo's done what they wanted, but then, Miami's just in it, and it, just wouldn't go away. And then all of a sudden, Buffalo just started struggling. I feel like they couldn't move the ball. And it's like, okay, Miami's got their chances, and then they just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, it's almost like the Bills didn't take them super seriously.
Yeah.
Again, final score in this, Bills 31, Dolphins 21.
Yeah, so
Dolphins
Bills didn't cover. But, man, if they would have made that field goal.
Yeah, dude,
but
big
that's
lines.
A what if.
That's the thing. That's the thing, staying away from those big lines because it is the NFL. But also, the Dolphins should have been closer in this game, realistically. So, I don't know. I think the Bills are fine moving forward. I'm not worried. And I think the Dolphins officially dead. We said we're going to start deading teams, and there's, I think, 6 0-3 teams, and they're one of them, and I'm killing them. They're done. So, we'll ask about the other ones. Anything else on this game, Alexander? All right. The next game we're going to discuss was by far the biggest parlay, teaser, any type of conjunction bet ruiner. And that was for me as well. The reason I made $0 basically, well, I actually lost money. But the reason that happened is because the Green Bay Packers, not only did they not cover the 8.5, and this was one of your picks, they lost outright to the Cleveland Browns, who put up a measly 13 points. And so I don't really know what to make of this. Alexander, I'm going to let you lead this one off because I have a few thoughts, but...
this game was going on while the Philadelphia was. So, it's kind of in the corner. I keep glancing at it, and I'm like, what is happening over there? Every time I looked over, it just looked bad. Looked like Green Bay just didn't know how to run an offense. But then I'm like, oh, they're up 10-0. It don't matter. They're going to cover. I don't trust Cleveland to just start scoring on them like crazy. And then I don't know this for sure, but in my head, because like I said, I just kept glancing at it because it was out of all the games, it was one I really didn't care to watch that much of because I just thought Green Bay was going to take care of business, and then they didn't. But I feel like Green Bay was up 10-0 going into the fourth, and I could be completely wrong. All I know is Cleveland scored 13 unanswered, and that's just unexcusable for a Green Bay team that through 2 weeks, everybody was labeling the NFC favorite, the team that everyone's going to have to go through, that they're just this great team that they've built. They've made the right
got the
right pieces.
This year? Green Bay is going to be tough. Their offensive linemen saying, honestly, we might go undefeated pound for pound. We're the best team in the league. I don't see a game we
Yeah.
lose.
Like, that's a bad loss. That ain't even like, that's one of those losses, like, hopefully it's a wake up for them, but it could easily turn into like a little gremlin that they ain't gonna be able to get rid of and could affect their rest of their season.
Yeah, this isn't like a Thursday night game against the Bears where somehow you end up losing a tough matchup and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Well, they always beat the Bears, really. But yeah, I mean, that's bad. And this game to me was not, I mean, Judkins looked good. Flacco, I guess they're just going to let him throw the ball like a million times every game. Here's my takeaway from this game. I have two. One, the Packers are not as complete as everyone thought. They're still a good team. They're still going to win. They're still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to win their division, in my opinion. But they don't have that star power of, hey, we're just going to handle things, because they had no resolve in this. And this has been Jordan Love's story, honestly, the whole time in the NFL. Is just when things are going well, it looks like, oh my gosh, he is him. But when it's not, I don't know what's happening. I mean, he's just running into sacks. Myles Garrett's a game breaker. But here's my other takeaway. Joe Flacco, I'm over it. Like, put in Dylan Gabriel, put in Shador. You're scoring 10 points a game, basically. They ended up with 13 field goal at the end. It's not like you're having great offense and your defense can't keep up. Like, the defense surrendered 41 to the Ravens. We'll get to the Ravens here in a little bit. But I don't understand why the Browns, like, what's the point of Joe Flacco being there? Is it just that they're young quarterbacks? They genuinely believe in them both so much that they don't want to risk them getting hurt or something? Sell me on, not you, because I don't think you want to, but somebody sell me on why Joe Flacco should still be the quarterback. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm over it. We've seen it. He had a great postseason run. We had fun debates if he was a lead or not. Never was. And I'm just over the Joe Flacco experiment. Get some new blood in the Brown system. And then, side note on my second point, I like the brown helmets for the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was a doozy.
Packers, best team in the NFC, easily. Give them the NFC championship. That's what everyone was saying. Lost to the Browns.
I'm still wild that you still believe they're gonna win the division after that. Like, if I had picked them to win the division, I might would be second guessing that right about now. Luckily, I had them third. But we'll go to the next one where I told y'all it was a game that felt like Carolina was going to go in and win. But hand up, I did not know they were going to go in there and just freaking win 30-0 against Atlanta. Granted, you could argue Atlanta moved the ball at times way better than it looked like Carolina could. But then it was just Penix, just like, is he really going to be their quarterback the rest of the year? Or do we get the Kirk Cousins back? But Kirk Cousins came in a little bit, and it didn't look pretty.
I mean, he went 5 or 7. He is whatever and make up time. I've never liked Penix or believed in him, but I believe in his offense enough where it's like he cannot get in the way. The Panthers fans already hate me, so I'm just gonna say what my thought was. Michael Penix acted more like Bryce Young in this game than Bryce Young did, and that's why the Falcons couldn't score. Like, they moved the ball, but dude, he had one pick six that I still am not over. It's one of the worst plays of the year.
When the one where he's like in his own red zone?
No, I think that was Cam Ward. Sorry. He had the worst pick of the weekend. Some terrible plays across the league. But I don't know. They have too many good weapons to not at least score. I mean, when we recorded, it was 5.5. The line was about 4.5 or 5 at kickoff. As a favorite and you get shut out, that just doesn't even. I do think Panthers fans should be excited. I also don't want to be the people who are like, well, it's just the Falcons. They're that bad. No, the Panthers played well. Like, you beat an NFL team 30-0. That doesn't happen often. But to me, the story is more about the Falcons and the fact of, this is a team that we had borderline playoff team. I don't think they have that in them. They don't have that, like, ability to go to the next level. They're going to be competitive and be scrappy in games, but, like, as far as them competing with Tampa Bay, that's just a matchup thing. I think that this Falcons team they have a lot to fix, and I don't trust them to do so. And for the Panthers, hey, just go out there and keep having fun, keep playing free. Again, their biggest win in, like, franchise deficit, probably, especially in a shutout. They had 240 yards on offense, something like that. Again, that sounds like being such a hater, but, like, it's not like they were just airing it out. But they played really, really well. Credit to the Panthers. But the Falcons, I'm not going to dead the Falcons, but I got my hand. It's hovering over the button. I'm not pressing it yet.
Yeah. It's a team that I really want to just be like, yeah, they're dead. Done with them.
Do it. We can't have dead teams in the playoffs.
They're not making the playoffs. Yeah, they're dead.
Okay. I want you to say that.
The Atlanta Falcons, after week 3, coming off a miserable loss to Carolina, they're dead. They're not making the playoffs. Season's over.
All right. You heard it here. I think that's a good time to move on. All right. Our next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts facing the Tennessee Titans. And this is a game where you were completely all over, really got my own head because I'm like, it just seems too easy. The Titans have been playing terrible. The Colts have been playing amazing. 4.5 for them. Like, think back to the Saints last year. They looked like the best offense of all time after 2 weeks, and then they lose. This game played out exactly how it should have. It showed the differences in these teams. I think it shows the Colts are a good football team. I'm not willing to say great yet. I know you're already wanting that to be the case. And the Titans are really bad, and the Titans are going to be in the running for a top 5 pick this year. If it wasn't already obvious, the Titans are dead. I know you had a little faith in them more than I did, but not that much. But they're dead. I'll dead the Titans for sure. I honestly don't have many takeaways from this game other than just bless the Pollard, Ridley, I guess Elick, maybe Okonkwo fantasy owners, because you don't want to play any of those guys because their offense is horrendous. And their defense has no heartbeat. I'll be honest. They really don't. I thought maybe they had a little more fight after week 1 against the Broncos, but I'm over this Titans team. I enjoy watching them play as little as anyone in the entire NFL. And I still don't hate Cam Ward. I'm not deading his career, but it's bad and the Titans are awful. I don't really have anything to say. I know it seems like I'm making it more about the Titans than the Colts, but I'm just being as honest as I can. I'm just still not there with the Colts. I don't know. They're a good football team. I don't know how good.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of the Colts. And
the AFC is bad. Sorry, I'm just
get to the Texans later, but right now, if you're the Colts, you're feeling great. Like the team you thought was who your biggest competition for the division was is 0-3 right now, and their schedule does not get any easier. So you're feeling like, okay, this is our division now. We're in the spot we want to be in. We're in a spot we believe we should be in. We can get this done. This is ours for the taking. And I'm just glad that my most confident pick, the one that I fully when I saw the sheet popped out, I was like, yeah, this is for sure where I'm going with this. The others, I told y'all, I didn't know what I was going to do. I kept going back and forth between multiple games. It just, nothing really stood out to me. But this one did. And I'm glad I was right on it. So it made me feel a little bit better, just at least because it was the only one of my 3 I got right, but still made me feel better that the one I was most confident in, yeah, I had a reason to be.
Yeah, and shouts out to I think it's Johnson734. Might be the username. I don't know. You are right. I may have animosity towards the Colts because it was by far my biggest loss on the year, not even close, when they beat the Broncos. So you're right. Maybe that's what it is. And especially when the coach comes out, Sean Payton, he's like, yeah, it clearly was leverage on the play. It's like, dude, just keep that to yourself. I don't know. Don't let them re-kick it. And then he took accountability and was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have sent a field goal block on a 60-yard field goal. You think? Whatever. I'm not over it. So I am impressed by the Colts because they just keep clicking. And that's actually impressive. As you look across the entire league, Jonathan Taylor looks like one of the best running backs. Daniel Jones is a complete control. They did punt. They punted 1 time. So they have 1 punt in 3 games. Speaking of being wrong about picks, Alexander, I really went into this next game, Las Vegas, Washington, and Washington wins 41-24. And my thought was, if Jaden's playing, he's probably not going to run as much. I remember last year there was a couple games where it felt like he didn't use his legs as much, whether it was his ribs or whatever it was. I'm like, he's probably still going to play. They're just going to be safe with him. I didn't know how much trust they had in Mariota, where they're like, we're just going to be extra safe with Jaden and just play Mariota, and the offense is going to look fine. We're going to look good. We're going to have multiple running backs scoring, breaking away. We're going to have deep bombs to Terry. And oh yeah, forgot to tell you, the Raiders are actually really bad at defense, and we're going to score 40 points. I would have never thought that Washington would have scored 40 points in this game, so I just thought the Raiders would keep it close enough. Admittedly, as the Eagles game got to at the end of the game, I did not see how the Raiders scored so much in the end, but who was it that was going off for them? Their young kid?
Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
Speedster.
So that wasn't good for them to see. Genty's just not getting any yards before contact. The fantasy owners, including myself, are not enjoying that experience right now, but he's still really good. The Raiders are dead, and Washington looks like they're poised for maybe another playoff run. But I'm not really that impressed with Washington still, but I'm not going to be until they have a good game against a good team.
Yeah.
We got to make a dead list.
Do you know what the line ended up changing to? Once Daniels was rolled out? I don't even know what it ended up changing to. I just know when we did it, it was with Daniels still technically possibly playing.
I thought you were going to blow my mind.
But yeah. Either way, I didn't like that game. It felt like a trap game. You were confident in it. But at the same time, I never would have saw Mariota just being able to go out there and look like he was like Mike Vick or Lamar with the run ability, just running all over the place. Like it was so easy. Like this dude was just running for 20 yards. It seemed like anytime he wanted.
Yeah, and shouts out Fred Smoot. He said they made a clone of Jaden, and it's Mariota, which is basically a number 2 overall pick Heisman winner that's just going to run the offense the same. And I didn't hate that take. With Eckler done for the year, they got, McNichols, they got
McNichols look good.
Bill. They got Bill. I think the Raiders just can't tackle. Besides Max Crosby, I don't think they know how to tackle.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so anti-Raiders. All right, Alexander. Now the game where any other thoughts on that game? Sorry. All right. The game where everyone was excited to see the quarterback matchup of the weekend. And that's I'm talking about Carson Wentz and Jake Browning. And the final in this one was 48-10. And as we recorded, if you remember me saying, yeah, like honestly, like I'm all in on Wentz returning. I'm so excited for this. The Vikings defense is really good. I don't really think Browning's that good. But again, they really, really got my head because I'm like, why is it only 3 points? Like the Bengals are a terrible team. The only reason they have success is because Burrow is that good. This game shouldn't even be close, but I was too much of a coward to pick them, and Carson Wentz hurt me too much in the past, but I'm glad for him. The Vikings defense, did they have 3 non-offensive touchdowns in this game? I mean, Isaiah Rodgers had 2 himself. He had multiple turnovers. I don't think there was a more humiliated team, and honestly, if there's one thing I'm confident in now, also, Bengals dead. Make sure that's clear. Zach Taylor will get fired this year because even without Joe Burrow, you have to have some type of competence. And all their quarterbacks are worse than Jake Browning. So Zach Taylor also fired.
Yeah, that was just bad. Really bad. And kind of like you, I didn't want to pick it because like it just didn't. It seemed like a game where like Wentz would somehow just start spazzing out and like allow the Bengals to stay in it. But no, Wentz actually did what he was supposed to do, looked decent. I mean, everybody like finally got to see what it was like for Wentz to throw to Justin Jefferson. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, their defense, they showed up. I mean, they didn't show, well, in a way, I guess they showed up against Atlanta. Their offense just didn't. But their defense made a point like, hey, we're not losing this game. Like, we're putting a stamp on it. And Rodgers, like, he showed what his speed can do. Like, he picks up a ball, it's almost guaranteed to be housed. So, yeah. I mean, if you're Minnesota, like, I don't know.
The conversation is going to happen. You might as well go ahead and start it.
If you're Minnesota, I don't know, like, are you thinking, do we just let Wentz just stay? Or give him another week? If it gets ugly then you turn it to JJ? Like, I don't know. Like,
here's my speculation. They're overseas for the next 2 games. I think those are for sure Wentz's. Like, they're not trying to have JJ prepping it ready, like, in a different world and it's all over the place. And I think depending on how those 2 games go might depend on how fast JJ's ankle heals. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I can
if
see
they're
that.
playing well, it's not that you don't believe in the guy. But like, if they're playing well, like, why are they going to change it? So, and then we'll see what, like, this offseason it will be. Do they turn the keys over to sophomore or 3rd year JJ McCarthy or get a veteran rehab facility? I heard they're making a Netflix show about that it's KOC's rehab tour, and he just gets veteran quarterbacks, but it's actually just the NFL season of him getting old guys and making them relevant again. It's also one game I don't want to overreact. I think the Bengals are terrible and the Vikings defense is great. And also just want to I'd be disingenuous if I didn't do this, condolences to everyone that played against Minnesota's defense in fantasy. If you're in leagues that still have defenses, get out of them. Propose to get rid of defenses. It's fantasy football. But if you're in it and you play the Vikings, buy your opponent buy them a drink because you didn't deserve to have that many points from a defense. All right, Alexander, this next game, you have to do Pittsburgh, New England. I cannot talk about this anymore.
Yeah, Pittsburgh taking on New England. Another game kind of like in a way similar to Atlanta, Carolina, where it felt like the team that was able to move the ball better just didn't know how to execute it properly and get it done. But in a different way, it was the running backs. And I saw a thing where, and I think a lot of people forget about it. And early on in Derrick Henry's career, Mike Vrabel, he had this thing. And I feel like everybody forgot about it because I forgot about it until I saw it, where he just refused to not stop using Deion Lewis. Like, just kept overusing him, acting like he was somebody like that deserved to be taking touches from Henry, and just kept believing in the guy time after time. and then it just kept costing them. And it seems that same way. Like, does Vrabel just hate rookie running backs? Like, he's like, no, like, I'm not giving you your chances.
He's just old school with like you got to earn your spot.
What more does the kid got to do? 3
Well, yeah.
fumbles from the 2 guys that are getting more touches than you, and you still can't get touches?
Yeah, like, well, last week, you see Stevenson have a really good game, and it's like, well, we wish Henderson was more involved. He's more explosive, but, like, if you're getting production, then I guess it's fine.
But Stevenson's always had a fumble issue. Always. The
It's
dude,
his
like,
biggest
literally
problem.
said after the game, like, yeah, all offseason I was working, like, with a heavier football to try to work on not fumbling.
Listen,
Obviously,
get
that
to
didn't work.
listen, it'll be the last game we discuss, but maybe Vrabel was onto something with Derrick Henry having fumbling issues also. He's just ahead of the curve, you know?
Yeah, maybe. But, yeah, this
Speaking of
game,
Stevenson,
I feel like
Henderson did lead the backfield in carries by the end,
at the very end, 4th quarter,
but he still only had 11 carries for 28 yards, where Stevenson had 4 carries for 18 yards, Gibson 7 carries for 28 yards, and Drake May led the rushing attack with 45 yards, but they aired it out. Drake May threw for 268 yards. Like, and if you didn't watch this game, you haven't known, it was turnovers. That's literally the story of this game. The Patriots had 5 turnovers, Alexander. And how many of them were either going into the end zone, inside the 5-yard line, interceptions, tip passes, whatever. Like, I've never seen a more high school loss from an NFL team.
I remember the one, like, Stevenson fumble because, like, either the Eagles game was on a commercial or during a timeout, either or. Like, I remember looking over and I was like, dude, New England's about to score. And all of a sudden, it just fumbled. And you're like, no, he didn't. I was like, dude, yes, like, he didn't get in. Like, he clearly fumbled.
Yes, it's like literally, hello, everyone. That's my mother in the background. Shouts out to her.
It was just, you believed in this Patriots team. Luckily, you didn't pick them this week. I was really surprised you didn't. I really felt like it was going to be one of your picks.
I didn't trust their defense. And I'm like, maybe the Steelers, but it really wasn't even their defense was the problem. Like, I mean,
Is
they won the
Vrabel
game.
on the hot seat through 3 weeks?
If they played from 2-yard line to 2-yard line, the Patriots won by like 70 points. No, Vrabel's on the hot seat.
I mean, to me, if he keeps refusing to use Henderson, it might be time to put him on the hot seat.
Vrabel's not on the hot seat. That's crazy. I mean, they just had a coach that they fired after one season to get Vrabel and trust him. I think we, meaning myself and the other believers, were too anticipatory on Vrabel never having a bad team. And here's the
Come on, give the New England faithful hope.
The Patriots aren't dead. I'm sorry, they're not. Drake May is good at football. I mean, your biggest gripe is that they're not giving Henderson touches.
How are they not dead though? Like they're going to squeak in the playoffs as a wild card because they're dead in the division standpoint.
They were always dead in the division. List 7 teams better than them in the AFC.
In the AFC right now, I mean, I guess that's fair. AFC does not look very.
There's
good.
probably 7 teams better than them, clearly, but like there's a whole group of people that are from 7 to 9. I mean, the Chiefs right now, like we'll get to them, but I can't quit this Patriot. But my confidence in them is not there. But let me see a good showing from them. Drake May's still a good quarterback. I'm not out on Drake May. Their defense is bad. Their defense I do not trust. But this is a game they had to have. Like this really, and even after they like gave up the multiple turnovers, I'm like, okay, they're still gonna come through. And then they get stopped again. This was the most frustrating game of the weekend for me as like someone who was not even that invested in it, other than just what I wanted and was hoping for. So Steelers win. Rodgers looks okay. TJ Watt was making plays. You know, they got the turnovers. Slay gets a fumble recovery. That's the thing. You got to give credit where it's due. They at least did capitalize on the Patriots' lack of ball carrying. Yeah. All right, Alexander. Speaking of a division and a team you're already calling dead off to an 0-3 start, that is the Houston Texans, who lose 10-17. The game ends up, I'll fast forward towards the end. The game ends up being about 10-10. Nico's having a good day. Lawrence is missing Brian Thomas, but he's hitting Brown. He's hitting Washington. I don't know what's going on. And then there becomes a moment where the Texans get the ball. It's 10-10. And I just, with full confidence, I'm like, all right, at least we're going, because this is a pick we agreed on. I said, at least we're going to get that one right. Like, they're going to go down and score. It's ugly. Like, it doesn't make me feel that different about the Texans, and they just have one of the worst possessions you've ever seen. The Jags go down the field floor, and then Texans do nothing. The Texans being 0-3, and you mentioned it, an absolute gauntlet coming up on their schedule. Are you deading this team? Like, how low is it? And then my next question to you, I'm going to let you talk one on this one. When do we start having a CJ Stroud conversation as someone who loves him?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to dead the Texans this early, but with their upcoming schedule, I easily could see them sitting 0-5 going into San Fran, or San Fran might be coming there. Either way, they're playing San Fran, and then they could
Are you
easily be
deading them?
0-6. Like, that's just insane.
Are you deading them? They do play the
I'm
Titans.
not going.
They do play the Titans next.
I'm not going to dead them yet, and that's only because their defense has looked great. They've held teams to hardly any points. They just got to get the offense going. They got to figure out the offense. Like, I thought maybe getting Kirk back that would help them out. Didn't. Like, I
Is
mean,
CJ
maybe it
Stroud a
is
good
time. Like,
quarterback?
maybe you're right. CJ Stroud ain't good. I don't know. I don't want to believe that.
Whoa! I did not say that. I asked if he's good. I didn't say he's not. Is he good?
I don't know. Like, these are games like
He had
he's
heart and
supposed to
gut
be
his
your like
second half of his
franchise
rookie year.
quarterback. Like, it's something's just
Dude,
off
did
there.
you see his post game quotes?
No.
It basically was like, yeah, it was really tough, but like at the end of the day, the sun's gonna come up tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, we're doing life philosophical things. We're not even like this didn't even hurt. This is like you're defeated. All right, let's say they beat the Texans. Let's do schedule watch really quickly because I think this is important because this is a team I am leveraged highly on to win their division, and right now they are basically 4 games out. Essentially, they play the Titans. Let's give them a win there. Of these next matchups, Alexander, how many wins do you see? I'm just going to list all the teams: Ravens, Seahawks, 49ers, Broncos, Jags.
Luckily, the Broncos hadn't fully looked like they're clicking.
Yeah, the Jags, they're back and forth. The 49ers, they're squeaking out
they're
wins.
squeaking out wins. I mean,
The Seahawks look great against the Saints. So I mean, that is the thing. These are teams where their defense can keep them in the game, but
yeah, it depends on what offense you get. If their offense gets clicking, of course they can win any of those games.
But
that's
listen,
a big if right now. This offense just looks bad.
Look, they play the Ravens at 1:00, so they're not winning that game. That's not a primetime game where the Ravens are going to choke. So, sorry, Ravens shots early in this. But, Alexander, they're going to be 1-4 with those 5 games in the Titans. So, let's say 2-4 with that. Like, I'm not deading them yet.
A counterpoint, Ravens defense doesn't look good. Maybe that's a game they need. And you were saying Texans defense didn't look good this past week. Or not Texans, Titans. So, like, maybe there's 2 matchups for them to get their offense going in.
I don't think their offense does get going. That's the problem. They don't have a run game. Their number 1 running back is a guy who basically everyone thought his leg was being amputated 2 years ago. And now he's leading the way. He's probably averaging 46 yards a game by getting like 75 touches. CJ Stroud, I don't know what to do with him. And Alexander, I hate to say this. Ohio State quarterback, maybe there's just not a good throwing Ohio State quarterback. Sorry, I know you'll get to like people you believe, but like, all right, I'm done with the Texans. They've taken it up of an up wavelength in my mind. Speaking of Ohio State's quarterback, one that didn't play this weekend was Justin Fields, but his replacement Tyrod Taylor comes in, and this is one of the games where the chaos starts, where the Jets block a field goal, return it for a touchdown. The coach is doing one of the most hilarious dance celebrations you've ever seen up and down the sideline. Game's not over. Bucs get the ball back. And for the 3rd week in a row through 3 weeks, Baker leads a game-winning drive as the Bucs win 29-27. Alexander, both sides of this game, I want to hear your thoughts on Bucs and Jets of just an insane game. The Bucs extremely banged up and the Jets without their starting quarterback.
Yeah, this felt like a game like if you're Tampa Bay, you got to start questioning, like, how are you not putting away teams? Like, yes, you're getting wins at the end of the day. I mean, when did Evans get injured in this game?
It's not just Evans, dude. They're like 3 of their starting linemen are out.
I guess, but what about the defense? This is a Jets offense that last week looked like they couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And they scored, 20 points? Because I think 7 came from a block. I don't know. Granted, yes, I guess the game's way different without the block field goal, but it's a game they almost lost, and I don't know. Like,
I mean, they had to kick a game-winning field goal to win.
Yeah. Luckily, that one didn't get blocked. That'd have been wild. Back-to-back blocks. Couldn't imagine that happening.
I mean, is this like a moral victory for the Jets? Like, their coach was so excited in this, and obviously they wanted to win, but like, you even mentioned it. He didn't seem like devastated that they lost.
I mean, he saw fight out of the boys. I mean, I guess that's what you want after getting destroyed the week before where it looked like y'all didn't have any fight. Like, y'all just kind of rolled over. Didn't even look like y'all deserved to be on a football field in the NFL. And then this week, like, you got down and you fought your way back.
Tyrod threw the ball decent. I mean, the one interception he has, Garrett Wilson just falls back on the sideline like that shouldn't even have been a turnover.
Yeah.
So, are you more encouraged with the Jets or more worried about the Bucks?
I'd say I'm more worried about the Bucks, and mainly because like the main benefit, like everybody talks about with the Bucks, and really any Miami team, early in the season, you're playing at home. It's this big advantage because it's just so hot there. No one else is dealing with those conditions, so when they come there, your conditioning's supposed to be better. You're supposed to be able to just dominate at home, and it didn't look that. Who knows?
No.
Maybe the Jets are just very well conditioned.
Listen, I'm not saying I think the Bucks are world beaters, but they are 3-0, and wins do matter. Like no matter how you get them, especially early on. I'm just like I think the Bucks are a very banged up, injured team across the board, and I
Is it
think
going to get better though? Because it feels
that's
like they're
not that's
rushing
my
Godwin
concern.
back now because Mike Evans and because they're playing Philly.
Hey, Ibuka's awesome. I just want to say that he had another incredible highlight catch in his third game. He's a dude. Buck, you look good again. I think it's more just like you can't keep winning games like this. Like it's not sustainable. Although the Vikings did a lot of it last year, being led by their defense, they had a bunch of crazy end of game wins. I I just don't think it's sustainable, but I think the Bucks are fine for one huge reason. No one in their division is going to give them any threat at all. They have time to
Carolina's
figure
going
it
to win
out.
the Carolina's going to win the division now.
Yeah, no one in their division is gonna do anything, so they have time to figure it out. I do think they need to be a little more cautious. Honestly, you have Baker, like, as long as he's behind center, like, you have a chance in these games, and I think they're gonna keep fighting. I would be feeling good as a Bucks fan. Now, are they in that upper echelon of teams in the NFC we're gonna get to? I don't think so, but then again, like, the Packers were in that territory for a lot of people, and they just lost to the Browns, so no matter how ugly it looks, like, if the Packers win that game, we're sitting there saying, "Yeah, they snuck out, but not really that worried about them." I don't wanna get too much off of the Bucks, but it is a little concerning, but
But at the end of the day, you're 3-0. That's what you're supposed to do. Get wins, no
well,
matter how you get
3
them.
3-1, but sorry, y'all can hear that on the preview. Sorry. Alright. Now, Alexander, speaking of the Bucks' next opponent, the Philadelphia Eagles. We watched this game together, Alexander. You came over to the crib and things got crazy and out of hand. And I am going to fully relinquish this over to you as I'm sitting here in my Jordan Davis jersey. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of the guy. Walk me through any parts of this game you want to highlight. Take as much time as you need. This was by far the game of the week, and very rarely are we going to have Eagles and, in my opinion, the game of the week being synced together. So let's really enjoy and lavish in this.
Yeah, this game, first half wise, I was miserable. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, you have all these weapons. The offense just looks incompetent. Like, what are we doing? Like, at this point, like, fire the OC at freaking halftime. Like, this is pathetic. Like, you can't be doing that. And then Lane Johnson gets injured, come out of half. It's just strip sack. It's like, what are we doing? We don't even have like his replacement out here. It's just, we can't block. Like, this game's basically over. And then they put in my boy Fred. And as much as what Jordan Davis did, Fred Johnson deserves the daggum game ball. Without him, none of that stuff on the offense is possible. That other guy couldn't even block. Like, at least Fred Johnson was able to block. He was able to create a pocket for Hurts to stand in there, throw the ball around. Like, it changed everything when Fred went in there. It opened it up. At the same time, though, we finally decided to start throwing the ball. Like, and then when we started throwing the ball, it's like, why haven't we been doing this to this point in the year at all? This just looks easy. We're just playing pitch and catch out here. Like, it just made no sense. It was almost, and like, you heard it, like, after the game, Hurts, AJ, they both kept making like comments like, yeah, like, we just need to stop playing to just not lose games. Like, so basically, they're saying the coaches, they're calling plays to not lose. And you can't do that in the NFL. And it looked like it was going to bite them in the butt by doing that. And then it flipped. I don't know if OC started calling different plays or if Hurts just was like, no, like, I'm calling the plays from here. Like, what you've been doing ain't working. I'm getting us back in this game. I'm putting the team on the back. Like, I'm taking over. I'm showing everybody why I actually am a top 5 quarterback in this league. He's a top 5 quarterback in this league. No other quarterback could have done that. I mean, who do people put above him? CJ Stroud? Like, we saw what he tried to do in the moment. Who else they gonna put? Dak Prescott.
He just gets pushed by his teammates. That's all he does.
Yeah. And then we've been kind of saying it. Like, we haven't said it on the pod or anything, but when we're watching, we've both been like, dude, like, Jordan Davis, like, looks good this year. Like, I told
It's
it and said it
inspiring.
to you before the game even started. I was like, dude, like, I love where Jordan Davis is at, but Jalen
Mhm.
Carter just doesn't look like he's in shape. Like, he's fighting injuries. Something just doesn't look right there. And granted, Carter still didn't look that good, but Davis looked amazing. And then Carter stepped up, got the first block. Davis was there as well, but still, Carter got the first block.
Hey, the 4th and 1, maybe what I thought was going to swing the game. Jordan Davis makes initial contact and Carter's on the outside, and they made 3 or 4 plays together, and that was just so sick. There's a couple things I want to highlight. I just had to jump in there. Go back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, and I loved Davis running Stafford down, across the field, stops him short. Like, dude, just hustling, like playing his heart out. That's what you love to see. And then we got the first block, and it's like, okay. Then we go down to score, and it's like, why? It's like, why do we score so quick? Like, I wish we wouldn't have scored this quick, but I can't be mad because we scored. And then they start moving the ball, and it's like, what? No, like, this can't happen. Like, are we really? And then they line up for the field. We called the timeout. As they're like lined up and we're calling the timeout, I look at you and I said, dude, I think we're going to block this. Like, Carter and Davis, like, they're scheming something. Like, they got something right here that it's going, they got something up their sleeve. Like, they must have figured something out last time. And you're like, they don't mean anything just because they're talking. Like, they probably talk all the time. Like, no, like, trust me, that looks different. And then it happened, the freaking block. And then when the block happened, listen, I'm happy the guy scored. Happy Davis scored. Me personally, as a fan, once you get on that freaking ball, just fall down, dude. The game's over. We won. Like, yes, thank you. You helped the people cover. But at that point, I just want the win, dude. I don't want you trying to run and then something fluky happen. Ball gets punched out. They pick it up and run it back, and then that's how we lose.
Hey, wasn't nobody catching him. He was gone.
Yeah.
And shouts out to Bennett. They tried to pick on him when he came into the game. He's a little injured right now. If you watch the replay, he takes out the kicker to make sure he don't get the ball.
Yeah.
Like, just, oh, that was beautiful. And I do want to fully admit something, Alexander. Before that kick, we have a system. For those of you who don't know, we do curls with our adjustable dumbbells. Every time we score, we can go through the full process. But we're getting them in for the last score we just had. So we're still doing them as the Rams get the ball. We're like, we got to get them done, or it's gonna. So we finish right before the play before the field goal. And as they get the next play, I said, well, we're losing this game, aren't we? You're like, yep. And then they line up for the field goal, and you start talking to me like, no, we're not losing. They're about to block this. Look, they got some plan. I'm like, and for what it's worth, in general, of my friends and fans of other things, I am typically the more optimistic, like not losing hope, keep the faith, like in general. And I'm just like, dude, it doesn't mean something. Like, it's over. Like, and then I instantly changed, and I'm pretty sure I've screamed about 700 times, we don't lose. We just don't lose. We just can't lose. We don't know how to lose.
Yeah,
And
then you
can
decided to break something. God almighty, dude.
Yeah, Dad, if y'all listen to this, it may or may not have been one of your dishes that I found.
Hey, it wasn't the coffee mug, though. It wasn't the coffee mug.
Yeah. It probably would have been better if it was a coffee mug. I don't even know why I have my mom. It's like what I make all my like treats and whatever. I had to get something, and the bag of food didn't make enough noise, so I just hear you screaming, "What did you just break?" And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
You were like, I thought it was plastic. And then I go in there, I'm like, it does seem like it's plastic, but this thing's shattered.
Yeah. Speaking of shattered, we really shattered the Rams' hopes and dreams yet again. There's been one time I thought the Eagles were going to lose in a long time, and it was against the Rams in the playoffs, and I thought we were going to lose this time. And I
Gosh,
love the heart of this team.
so insane.
Realistically, for me, the only concern for the Eagles is the conservative, slow, like, I've had the mindset this whole time of, like, they just really feel like they haven't had to, but, like, and you even said before, you're like, yeah, but, like, my concern is, like, if they get behind, what's going to happen? And we saw what happens. But on the other hand, they don't want to put themselves in that situation anymore. And that's why Jalen Hurts, the crazy maniac winner he is like, yes, this is amazing. And this shows what kind of team you have. Like, it's a huge win, but like and it's like such a like confident, humble thing to be like, we were in this situation because of ourselves. Like, no, like he wasn't trying to be rude to the Rams, but it's just like, we see what we can do on offense.
Yeah.
So I love, and a guy that does not call people out. It was very clear, like, and then you hear Sirianni in the post conference, and he's kind of saying, like, yeah, Tulla's still calling the plays, but like, trust me, Jalen sees the field really, really well. Where it's like, I think he bullied him, to be honest. I think he said, "Hey, you know the kind of things I want. Just give me that so I don't have to change everything."
After we went down and scored that first time in the second half, there's a video going around. Hurts goes up to KP and like is like shouting in his face. You can't make out what he's saying, but the dude's probably like, "This is why you listen to me, dude."
Hey, if I'm defending not the calls exactly, but I think his biggest thing is just like, hey, ball control, we take care of the ball, we're gonna win. That's kind of what happened last year a lot of the times. And Hurts is like, no, like lean on me more than that. Trust me
Like,
more than
let's
that.
get the
I'm not
lead,
trying to get
then
more.
do that. How about that?
Or just like do it all. Like we don't have to be.
Granted, I think this has gotten overlooked. This defense might be the best second like half defense there is in the NFL right now.
Well, and honestly, credit to Vic and credit to Sirianni for halftime. Like that's a thing in the NFL doesn't really happen a whole lot. But I feel like for them, it's like, hey, we know exactly what we got to do. Like we saw last week, the deep touchdown against the Chiefs, obviously, where Reed, he shifts over too fast. Like he goes too quickly and signals off the guy. Those things are going to happen. But I'm not concerned. I love this team. And the people that are so mad right now, no, PG show. I'm glad the Eagles won.
Like, I already seen some of this stuff, and it's Rams fans all over media. Like,
There's
they got
Rams
a
fans.
touchdown because of their false starting on the play, like every single time. Like, the play can't be officiated, remove it. Then they get a touchdown because AJ throws the defender. Like, AJ, did he push off? Probably a little bit. Was it as bad as it looked? Heck no. That defender flopped so hard. Dude, like, basically let himself get, like, flung himself out of the way on purpose to make it look like try to get something called. Like, Reed obviously should have tried to do a better job when freaking Adams did it to him, because that one was way worse. It was clearly a full arm extension.
Listen, that defender on the AJ touchdown, he's not going to live that film down. Like, if he gets the call, it's worth it because it's like you helped your team tremendously. But like that was embarrassing. That was straight up soccer flopping. Like, well, not really because they actually go to acting school for it. That was legitimately like, dude, he's never tried to sell a penalty before. But he just literally watch it if y'all know what we're talking about. I love Hurts. I love his mindset. I love that he's like, hey, involve me more, let me throw it more. Yes, we don't turn the ball over. Like, I love that. But that doesn't mean you can't throw it. Like, you have these guys you trust. He hits Goddard across the middle. He hits Smitty multiple times. He throws to AJ over and over. And AJ said that after me, like, yeah, that was nice hearing the crowd do that as well.
He said it fired him up when they did it after his first catch. It just got him going.
I heard the first time, he's like, just, dude. And then he catches the one ball. He said he couldn't even see it at first. He just put his hand out and it was right there. Like, also, watch the like all 22 angle of that throw from Jalen. I didn't realize in real time how insane of a throw that was. He's like coming up, throws to the sideline over the top. He's so good. And if you're sitting here still saying that Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback, you obviously are just a hater. And here's the thing. You're probably going to hate him his entire career because he's just going to keep winning and winning and winning and winning. And people hate when people win because they don't like the way he plays. They don't like the way he is. He's too nice, I guess. I don't know. This was as excited as I could possibly be on a week 3 win. I don't want to do this every week.
Yes.
But
I'm getting tired of these like intense games. Like,
dude,
just want to relax, and enjoy a win early.
How many minutes passed before I or Teddy would message some of the groups like still haven't calmed down? Like I don't even, we're going to get into the 4 o'clock ones now, but I don't even know what happened at the beginning of any of these games because I was still just buzzing. Like a week 3 regular season game shouldn't move me this much. It was just like every Jalen Hurts hater and doubter. Yeah. Fill in the blank. And also shouts out Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Shouts out
Jordan Davis.
Shouts out everybody that made a play because it's a team effort. Shouts out AJ Brown.
Adoree Jackson looked pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get into the preview. Like, are both of our corners hurt? Or are we just like, is this like on college football or Madden where you like press L3 and it's like even teams? Is that what we're doing for the Bucks? Or like, oh, y'all got some wideouts out? All right, we'll make it even. Like, is that what we're doing? I don't know. All right, Alexander, 4 o'clock slate. I'm going to lead off with the worst game of the entire weekend. And that's a team I've been claiming is the worst. Everybody's been saying they're not as bad as you think. I even fell into the trap of saying Rattler's not good, but he's not the worst quarterback ever. He's never won a start, probably never will. depending on how many games he starts. The Seahawks win 44-13. And honestly, the only reason it wasn't more than that is honestly because they didn't want it to be more than that. And they didn't even play their starters the whole game. There was multiple times other people could have scored. Horton has a return touchdown. He has a receiving touchdown. Kenneth Walker looks great. Darnold looks in complete control. Their defense is as dominant as anybody can imagine. Absolute blowout in every single way. The Saints were already dead, but not only are the Saints dead, I don't want to spend any more time talking about the Saints unless it's because something crazy happened in their game. So no offense to any team that plays the Saints the rest of the year. For me, I'm not talking about them at all. And if the spread against the Saints for any team in the league that's not one of the other worst teams, I'm probably taking the other team if the spread's like within 5 or more. They're that bad. And good job, Seahawks. They look like a legit team.
Yeah, I mean, you covered it with Seahawks. My only takeaway from this game was if you were watching it, you got to see that the tush push can be officiated. And when you're not, you don't have to slow it down to the like very last millisecond before the ball gets hiked to see somebody move. The dude clearly moves, clearly false starts. They call him on it and it's officiated. Like, I'm sorry that the Eagles like move at the last millisecond. Like, you do that on any single play in the league. Every player you can catch any play out there. Somebody probably moves on the line in that last little millisecond. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that game.
Yeah, shouts out Sam Darnold. Shouts out Seattle. All right, next game. This was another one of those just beautiful games that I know you missed a little bit of it as you were traveling home, but basically you just missed a couple of deep bombs for touchdowns. The Bears beat the Cowboys 31-14. CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, does nothing in the game, tries to come again for one play. Jerry Jones said he's not going to rule out putting him on the IR. That's the negative for the Cowboys. If you can see my tears on my face, how sad I am for them. Dak doesn't look like he's his, former runner-up MVP self at all. Their defense as bad as we thought. The Bears look good. They have a somewhat formidable schedule coming up. Maybe they can try to be a 500 team this year. DJ Moore gets involved late. Burden has a touchdown. Rome has another touchdown. I don't want to be the person to be like, yeah, you beat the Cowboys. But to me, it's like, I love that the Cowboys are this bad. I don't really have anything. I still think the Bears defense is awful. I think the Cowboys defense is worse. But I do think the Bears offense looked better, and Ben Johnson was able to actually get in his bag a little bit this game with some nice plays.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Bears fan, it feels good. But I'll just say this, since you didn't want to say it. Take it with a grain of salt because you beat up on a Dallas Cowboys team that has been pronounced dead. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I'm dead in the Cowboys too. I did say Cam Newton was trying to argue they're still going to make the playoffs, but he also thinks Jalen Hurts isn't good at football. So whatever. Anything else on that one?
No. I mean, you kind of touched on it and covered it.
Sorry.
Next one's a NFC West, how they always turn out. Arizona taking on San Fran. I mean, these games, like, it's guaranteed, I feel like, and it might be like a rule within their division where like, hey, like just one matchup a year. We don't know who it's going to be. Someone's just got to bite the bullet for us. Okay. We want a game where we're just kicking field goals all game, basically. Like that's all we're asking for. Yeah. Throw in a safety, make it a little interesting.
Should have been 2 safeties. Kyler's knee was down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It ended up being 15-16. I mean, Mac Jones just does just enough to win. I mean, after the game, he basically said he's ready to give the offense back to Purdy because it's his best friend. To me, like, I don't know if like I'd want him out there another week because he acted like he didn't want to be out there. Like he's completely fine handing it back over. Like, I guess he don't trust himself to not screw this up any further.
Kind of a little hurt. Like if Purdy can't play this week, I don't know what happens for them.
Yeah. But yeah, that one was a real barn burner, let me tell you.
I think this is a big win for the 49ers. If they're going to be something, they're going to look back on this and be like, that was a huge win, a division game. We're 3-0.
Yeah, surviving.
This is a game.
Won 2 games without Purdy.
And we talked about it with Kyler Murray with the Panthers last week. This is a game where, like, no one takes him seriously. You got to win this game. You're playing a division opponent that you want to talk about injuries. Bosa goes out in the game. You have Mac Jones. Your defense is playing well, keeping you in the game, and you just can't generate enough offense. Given James Conner goes out, like you have Trey Benson, but it is different when a guy goes out.
Marvin Harrison can't catch.
And yeah, most of the time doesn't even get open. And when he's wide open, he just drops the ball. Like Maserati Marv, we might need to start having a real conversation about him as well.
Ford Pinto Marv.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I'm not deading the Cardinals, but this felt like a game where if you're legit going to try and win this division, you have a chance. The Rams losing, you have a chance to beat another division team, and it's just like, we'll just flirt around 500 and probably miss the playoffs at the end. He's just not a serious quarterback, and they're not a serious roster. I do still like their defense. I like the pieces they added. I still don't mind Gannon, and it doesn't even seem like the play calls. They just don't execute. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what you do with Kyler. He's better than most, but he's not gonna ever make that jump, it seems.
Yeah. Like a lot of promise, but not enough.
Not making a short joke, but he really tends to under-deliver.
Doesn't quite, meet the bar.
Yeah. All right. Lead us, Alexander. Whoa, that's usually reserved for Jalen Hurts. That's crazy I said that.
Then we jump over to Denver taking on the Chargers, a game that we thought was going to be close. Hopefully we'd get to see the old Denver show up, Knicks perform. And me personally, the fact you were in it, if you're Denver, you got to feel good because it still doesn't feel like they've reached what they've shown they can do. And then you were in this game and you only lost by 3. But that's a loss. Like, you can't lose that. Like, I'm pretty sure, I know the Chargers scored at least 10 unanswered. They might have scored 13 unanswered. Like, that means, like, you were doing what you needed to do, even not fully performing. And then you just your offensive problems bit you in the butt, not being able to put the game away. Next, missing throws. Like, it's a tough look if you're Denver. If you're the Chargers, you're happy you got the win. Herbert still looks great. Hampton finally got involved, but like at the same time, like I get Denver has a good defense, but you let a team hang around that still ain't fully feel like they're clicking, and everybody felt like you were clicking to this point.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, you feel like they were clicking.
I view this game a little differently just for the fact of like it is a tough divisional game. You didn't play your best. And you took advantage of Denver, like, not capitalizing on big plays. I mean, you mentioned it, Bo Nix missing 3 big plays. I just think that one play that Herbert made, everyone's going to be talking about. This is why he's a top 5 quarterback. And, like, it's true. Not many people are making that play. Breaks a sack, rolls out, goes to his left, throws it, like, your boy Keenan Allen finds the end zone again. He may score. He may literally have 17 touchdowns this year, just gets one every game. Unless he already had 1 or 2. I don't know. Najee Harris, really bad non-contact injury, like in the middle of the play. Herbert still completes the pass on the play. That might be the end of it for Najee. I don't know that we ever see him play football again. Genuinely. I like this Chargers team a lot. I'm being patient because, I'll get sucked in by Herbert and this team. I really will. So they need to be they just have a little more longevity, but they're 3-0 and firmly in the playoff and division mix. So yeah, I like where they're at.
If you're Denver, it kind of feels like same old story as last year. You play your division. You're in the games against the Chargers. You're in the games against the Chiefs last year. You just couldn't beat them. And it seems like that's kind of the same story again this year. Well, like it was a story that like you feel like has to change if they want to have a chance. Because if not, it's going to be a tough road.
Well, they ended up winning 10 games last year, but had a terrible start. They're 1-2 right now. Like, not a good start. Some of the Bo Nix heroics, I'm a little more hesitant on Denver as a whole because quarterback play has to matter when you're facing really good teams. Like the fact that they lost early, and again, I'm not trying to bring up the Colts game again, but 2-1, you feel a little bit better. But I don't know. I'd be a little more nervous as a Denver fan watching Bo Nix just airmail the ball. Speaking of being nervous, Alexander, the Kansas City Chiefs, we put their fans on Hurt Watch last week. And they do win this game 22-9 against the Giants. This legitimately, after such a fun, crazy, hectic day of football, even the 4 o'clock slate had some fun to it besides the Seahawks game. I'm glad football's back. I love football. Watch it a ton. This was one of the least enjoyable experiences I've had watching a primetime game in a long time. I would have rather been watching like Jaguars Texans 2010 Thursday night color rush. This was awful, awful, awful football. The fact that this is a Kansas City Chiefs team right now, it's unrecognizable. Thornton has some big plays down the field, and that's about the only excitement I saw the whole game, except Mahomes throwing the ball backwards multiple times and having a turnover, and Collinsworth saying, and Mahomes with the play of the game here, he really saved it. Yeah, he threw it backwards 5 feet, but look, he saved a touchdown.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say other than the Giants are terrible. Their defense was competitive. Jackson Dart will probably see soon. We saw him running some read option, and then they brought in Russ to do a read option, and he lost like 5 yards. This team's terrible.
Yeah, this was a game that, like, I feel like if you're the Giants, coming off of how, yes, you lost to Dallas, but you were competitive. Russ was getting Neighbors the ball. And then this game is like, what are we doing? You it seemed like they just didn't want to get Neighbors the ball at first. Like Russ just the Russ that I feel like we've seen multiple times now in the last like 3 years, like show up where it's like, what is he doing? Like, how is he still starting in the NFL? Like, at a certain point, like, just because you once were a starting quarterback that led your team to a Super Bowl, like, doesn't mean like you're not past your prime. Like, you need to be put out to pasture, bro. You need to move on from you. Like, your career time in the NFL, like being a starting quarterback, it's gone. It's past. Like, if you're a team having to start him, your season's doomed. You're dead. Giants are dead. If the Chiefs would have lost this, I still don't think I could have dead them just because of all the injuries, but I'd have been close to. Button would have been hovering. Like red flags have been like, I feel like up, worrying. But I mean, you got an ugly win, and I mean, hand up, turn the game on for a split second. Anyone that knows me, always watch every game. Might not be like especially primetime games. Like it's normally always on my phone while I'm watching something with the family. This one, I had it on my phone. And then I was like, nah, like I'm not wasting phone battery on this. Like I'd much rather like sit here and play like a game on my phone than sit through this. Like it's just pointless. Like I have no interest in glancing over and watching this like horrendous show that's being put on. Like it was bad.
Yeah. I did have it on a second screen, but I have an addiction that I can't control, and I had to watch it, and it was awful. I hated it. Yeah, I mean, Chiefs are not dead, but they're concerned. All right, Alexander, since we ended up recording this late night, the Monday night game actually has already went final, and the Detroit Lions go into Baltimore, where the Ravens 4.5-point favorites, a back and forth game that had opportunities for the Ravens, and obviously most notably a Derrick Henry fumble really swings the game when the Ravens are trailing 24-28. The third game in a row this year, all 3 games, Derrick Henry has a fumble, and honestly, at a costly time, the 2 losses, if we're just being honest. And that's not just on him. Lots of problems with the defense. You were calling them Swiss cheese, calling them lots of things. I'm going to be really quick on this and get out of the way. The Lions are really good. They're a well-coached football team. They're far more the version of themselves last year than what we saw week 1, and they're going to be fine. You probably think they're going to win the division now. They look really, really good. They are a really good team. The Ravens offense sometimes looks like they're going to be absolutely unstoppable. And then sometimes tonight, whether it be the Lions defense or not, it looked like they're clueless. And the biggest takeaway for me is yet again, and this is not just a Lamar thing, it is a Baltimore Ravens thing with Lamar as the quarterback. Every game, every time, a big thing needs to happen for somebody on their team to come through. It's a new way. It's a new person. It's a new method. They find a way to absolutely choke in the worst way possible. And it happens yet again.
Yeah, this one was, yes, we both went Baltimore. Inside of me, I wanted to go the Lions. But then I was like, no, like I'm not going to read too much into what they did last week on offense. It was Chicago. I'm not going to fall for that. That's what they want me to do. I got in my head. I was like, Baltimore's offense is just too good. Like they're going to win this just because their offense is going to do just enough. Their defense is going to wake up. I was wrong. Hand up. Completely wrong. Baltimore's defense is awful. I thought it was supposed to be good. Thought it was supposed to be improved. It's bad. It's real bad. And at this point, if you're a Baltimore fan, you got to be concerned because your defense is getting cooked consistently by other teams that are going to be in the playoffs. And this is a game where people are saying, well, this has chances to be a Super Bowl matchup. I'm sorry. The way Baltimore's defense is playing right now against good teams, it's not got a chance of being a Super Bowl matchup because Baltimore's defense isn't good enough right now to win in the playoffs against good teams. It's bad.
I think the Bills are the only team I think are clearly better than the AFC still.
You don't have the Chargers better than them? I
The
mean,
Lions do
I
it.
guess that's the benefit of the AFC right now.
The Lions had
Besides the Bills, besides the Bills and the AFC, I don't believe in any of these other teams.
I mean, specifically just the actual play style of the Bills with James Cook can just run the ball. We've seen them do that. And that's what they did to the Ravens. I mean, Montgomery ran for 72 yards on one play. The announcers did a good job. I thought, well, I don't know what the heck Troy Aikman was saying half the time tonight. He's usually he was on one. But anyways, they're talking about the interior guards for the Lions. They seem to have no issues. I guess they're just good. Or, I mean, I know the Ravens are missing MK or whatever his name is. But, like, it is scary because when you play a team that can run the ball downhill on you, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Henry, you mentioned it, the fumble issues. Like, at a certain point, should he stop wearing that arm, like, shooting sleeve? Like, is that what's causing the fumbles? Because, like, it's just slipping on it, like, the way he's carrying it. And then it's like, as long as he's been a runner in the league, how does he not feel that guy coming from that side that has a clear shot at the ball? Like, it's just bad. Like, and
It's
then
like very un-Derrick Henry like. It's weird.
and then it's not just on him though. Like, I was watching it and Lamar's just taking sacks, like just running backwards and just taking bad sacks. And then like there'd be plays where it's like he like you can kind of see it according to like on different angles where it's like, dude, that dude's open, just like throw it. And then it's like he just didn't want to risk throwing it, and he's like, nah, like I'm gonna play smart. And then he'd end up taking like a 15-yard sack, and it's like, what? That's not playing smart, like because you were scared to throw it. It was
Yeah, how
almost
many
like
times
he
did he
was
get
like, I don't
tackled
want to
by,
be
like,
the
his
reason
foot?
we lose this game.
Well, there's times usually Lamar gets away, and they were somehow just grabbing his ankle, grabbing his shoe, grabbing his foot. Like, I don't know. It
It
was a
didn't
weird
look
game.
good the way he was trying to run out of the pockets either, though. And maybe that's the Lions. Like they watched how he normally tries to escape, and they had it planned. Maybe Dan Campbell really had him working on that. I don't know, but it didn't look good. The score doesn't show what that game actually was. Detroit took it to him. Detroit was fully in control in that game.
I don't completely agree with that. I mean, it was 24-28. Ravens have the ball, and then Derrick Henry fell.
It still felt like they couldn't stop Detroit.
I know it felt like that because they had 2 90-yard drives, it felt like, that lasted almost 10. It did feel like Detroit was bullying them, but that's what was so crazy is, like, somehow they're still in it. They have Lamar. It's going to be fine. And then Derrick Henry's like, or what if I just give you the ball back?
And then there was like multiple times on defense where it was like, it felt like their defense was doing their part, and then Detroit goes for it on fourth. And it's like, okay, like to me, instantly when I saw they were going for it, I was like, all right, if they don't hand it off, it's getting thrown to St. Brown. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then you just let St. Brown get behind you to where it's just a little like just raindrop past him, like just easy pitch and catch. Like you can't do that. And then like it was like third and was it like 20 or something? And then they picked that up, and it's like, what?
No, I'll give you that. It seemed like the Lions they were going to win this game.
I mean, to me, if you're a Ravens fan, I'd be concerned. Defense has got to be a lot better. I would not feel confident at all.
Because you know you're a playoff team. You know you're probably winning your division. You know you're probably hosting the first playoff game. But you're going to play one of, like, again, we don't know who all it is, but you know you're at least going to have to play the Bills. We've mentioned the Chargers. We'll see if the Chiefs can get together. You got the Broncos. The AFC South has to have a team in there, so maybe the Colts, whoever. But, like, you're going to have to beat a couple good teams in the playoffs.
Okay, like you said, Detroit, they did what Buffalo was able to do, run it. That's what opened it all up. Colts right now. Jonathan Taylor looks great.
It's week 3.
Like, the way it looks right now, I would say the Colts would go in there and beat them.
I mean, it's hard to like argue against it when you see how their offense is moving and they're not just getting ran over. I don't know. They still have Lamar. They still have a lot of talent. They've had slow starts before. I'm not worried about the Ravens regular season or winning their division or winning 11. They're going to win 11 or 12 games still. It's hard to, they're in an unfortunate spot. They're so good and so talented that like until they beat a really good team in a significant moment, they're going to be judged for if they can do that or not. And that's the price you pay for being elite. All right. That was a good recap, Alexander. Hope you all enjoyed it. We really appreciate it. We will try to do better with picks. Let us know how you did.
You want to go through our records, I guess?
Not really, but if you want to, we can. We'll do it on the preview. We get into it because we gotta separate them all. All right. Don't forget, we do have Sunday morning games and Monday night double headers this week. I don't know what all is going on in the NFL. We're 3 weeks in. Let's keep it going. Love you guys.
We out.
Go Birds.